Hello, powerful one. Welcome to this edition of Inner Growth with Osezwa Elimike. Yes, we are continuing our discussion on being a person of influence. This is video number 3, and we will be discussing resonance. I am your host, Osezwa Anthony Elimike. You know me. I am in the game of helping you grow from inside out. That is the drill. Yes, resonance. What is it? A lot of the times we have a very strong desire and we walk towards that desire. That becomes a goal. And along the line, we may not meet these goals and our mind goes into a state of turmoil and we are unhappy. Sometimes we meet the goals, we become so excited and we are happy, we celebrate it. It's a good one, a win we call it. But you see, if we were able to sit back and take a reading of what we did that made us succeed at the times we succeed, and what we did not do, or what we undid at the times we failed, we'll be able to have a clear idea. Okay, now, what I need us to understand while going through this idea of becoming a person of influence is that the primary focus of our goal should not be outwards. It should be inward. You know, in 2019, late 2019, there was this call made to me by the CEO of a training outfit on Lagos Island. The CEO of that company, in his days in insurance, was the CEO of a very big insurance company, which was my client. And I made a lot of presentations to them, to their management from time to time, and I did a few jobs for them. Over the years, this man migrated from insurance and set up a very beautiful management training firm. Then he's been training a lot of people. Then he got this brief to teach the management staff of a forward-thinking insurance company presentation skills, because the company felt that presentation was key at the management level, because virtually everything a management person does as their job description is presentation. It could be formal, it could be informal, but basically at management level, what you do is presenting. So they needed to teach presentation skills. It was to be done in the space of 3 days, on a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So that shows how seriously they took that particular course, that they could do it 3 straight days. Now, this management company contacted me and said, "Sezwan, you should be the one to teach this because we know you." He sent me some materials, some presentations. I looked at them, yeah. So when we met and we were reviewing, I told him, "Sir, I do not want to teach these people what they can easily see online, because any human being can go online and browse for presentation skills and we have a tome of materials. But you see, what I think we should do is give them something that they cannot find. It has to be a twist." They asked me, "Why do you want to do that?" I said, "Well, what I have experienced in my management experiences, being a management staff myself in my work days, is that a majority of the trainings that we got were always about the what's. What? The best of them will run out to be something like motivational speaks. And still, people don't understand the difference between motivation and transformation. I think, and I strongly hold to it, that training should be about transforming the individual. And when you want to transform people, You don't give them a what or a how of another person. You have to give them a how that is specific to their nature, that is specific to their environment, that is specific to their personal, private truths. And how can you do that? You do that by knowing the human nature. And this is why I decided to do this, by giving them that which prevents them from being good presenters even after knowing the words of presentation. Anybody can tell you how to present, how to make an impression, how to make a sale. Now, all of these hows they are teaching you still come down to one thing, which is words. It's about the techniques, so to say, of the deed. It's about the doing. Okay? But you see, there is something more important than the doing. It's about being in a state. And that state is the key element of success. When you are in a state of something, the doing of that thing becomes quite easy. Before I make these videos, I noticed that there are two types of videos I make. Some of them, I watch them, I don't seem to learn anything. But a majority of them, when I watch them, I confess to myself, Osezwa, this is not you. You didn't do this. Because I am forced to start taking notes myself after watching the videos, or while watching the videos, I take notes. Why? Because I am surprised how it came out. The reason is because before I do these videos, I sit down and I stay silent for a good number of, it could be seconds, it could be minutes, and wait for that unction to hit me. When I know that I have gotten into a state in which I can, speak effectively. I have heard it said by some people in the new age, school. They say that is a state of flow. Well, that's possibly so. So when I find myself in that state, I forget all my rehearsed notes and I just take the line and I flow it. At the end of the day, a majority of my presentations here are higher than the note I have taken to present. Sometimes I don't go the way of the note at all. Sometimes I go the way of the note and add. But whichever one it is, a majority of the times, my presentations turn out to be higher than my plan. Now, what makes that possible is the state that I put myself. Now, I learned this many years ago when I was into religion, when I was a young preacher in my teenage days. My pastor then, Pastor Mike Inagbare, once said, not that he once said, he always said, he said, a prepared man is better than a prepared sermon. I don't know if he actually fully grasped the depth of that expression, but that expression went straight to my subconscious and it loaded. It became a program. A prepared man, a prepared woman, a prepared person is far of higher value than a prepared message. Know the message you want to give, but rise above it. In the same way, for you to become a person of influence, you need to understand that you have to prepare the circumstances into your life which will make you that person. Okay, now, what am I talking about? I am talking about resonance. Resonance is also a condition of a body or a system in response or in sympathy with another system that is in the same frequency with it. These are all grammar, isn't it? It's just technical talks. But when we talk about resonance, we are talking about sympathetic relationship, or you can use the word empathetic relationship. A case in which there is a one-on-one relationship between a source and a target, or if you want to use the word, a channel and a target. It simply means that there is a flow coming from a system, a body, a reality. And then there is another system receiving, responding to that flow and that system. And that process of responding produces a state in the recipient system or body. And that state becomes one, becomes connected with the source or channel. You get it? Now, it therefore means that there are two separate entities that are connected to each other. And these separate entities are on the same wavelength. They are on the same frequency. That is why they can experience each other. There is an affinity between them. And in that level, they make a connection. And that connection creates in the receptor, in the receiving body or system, a state which is known as resonance. Okay, that state is a state of connectedness, a state of being yoked, equally yoked. That is what it's all about. Therefore, let's bring it down to this discussion. Your goal is to be a person of influence as a management person. Your entire interest is to be an influencer. What are you going to do to make yourself an influencer? Obviously, you want to read books. You want to attend seminars. I'm going to tell you these things. The best these things can do for you at that level is that they make you a smart person. And one of the biggest challenges of our world today is that smart people have taken over the reins of administration, of power, everything. Smart people are people who have learned the art of manipulation. Okay? They are, when you are dealing with smart people, it's like you are dealing with machines. They think like machines because they have what they know, what they teach, what they manifest are learned things. They are things that they have gotten from the myriad of seminars they have attended. They are programmed entities. Their programming is external, it's not interiorly motivated. Their programming is not based on insights, it's not based on personal enlightenment. So their programming is not based on intense self-application at the essential level. To be a human being, not a smart person, to be a real human being, to be an enlightened, insightful person simply means that you have subjected all that you have known and learned to the stress test, so that those of them which do not measure up with your desired goal will break out, and those which measure up will just become fine-tuned. The goal is excellence. The goal is growth. Therefore, you have to ensure that everything around you connects with it. Now, what is the mental image of you as a person of influence? You need to define what is influence to you. Now, this is where people who are smart differ from people who are indeed influential. Because when you become a person of influence, people do not separate your acts from your person. They don't separate your talks from your person. They see them as one in all. This is the beautiful thing about influence. When you are influencing people, they don't even sense it. They don't even know it. They are not aware of it that you are influencing them. They just see themselves acting in consonance with certain ideas that you have set forth. And the ideas you set forth as a person of influence are not necessarily verbal ideas. They are more of active ideas. They are performative ideas. Okay? They are coming from learning competencies, not from the perspective of rote learning, not by copying or studying. No, it is by knowledge sinking into you. In one of my videos, I was saying that my master made a statement. He said, whatever sinks into you becomes you. In all fairness, that is what life really means. If somebody says something to you and that thing penetrates into your system and crashes through the gateway of your subconscious, it becomes you. Now, if somebody is speaking and you say, wow, I like the way this person speaks, I want to speak like this person. And what is driving you to wanting to speak like that person is because of the accolade the person is getting. You want the same thing. So you are being externally motivated, exteriorly motivated. That represents same of the same. It's not going to make you look like that person. And what we are saying in earnest is that you really don't have to measure up. You don't have to seek to measure up with other people. If you saw my other video, which I did about 4 days ago, where I was talking about in an attempt to measure up, we lose our personality. You understand that there is a huge danger in trying to measure up with people. Everybody has their own truths. My truth is not your truth. Connect with your own truth, and then you will blossom, you will flower and fruit. Now, what is your truth? I don't know it, but this one thing I know, that at the level of humanity, we are one. At the level of mind, we are also one. But this is where we differ. The content of our minds, that is the programs that are written into our minds, always differ. This is why I always say that all human beings are the same and equal, irrespective of race, sex, or class. But what differentiates us from one another is the contents of our mind, which are brought into being by our environments. These are the things that make the differences. But what then constitutes our environments?